Have you ever been a victim to this feeling where you feel that you don't belong here? Or if you have accomplished something and you have been applauded a lot for the same, but still you refuse to internalize it and you're very much hesitant to take that praise. You usually work for others to prove something to others, to achieve a goal set by others, and rarely you give importance to your self worth. Hello, everyone. This is Navpreet, and you're welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk about a very crucial aspect of our own thinking, which lead us to these kind of self doubt, which I just discussed with all of you. And if you are feeling this way or you feel this way often, then most likely you are going through imposter syndrome. According to research, 82% of people suffer from imposter syndrome. It doesn't matter at what position you work and at what place you work or how much qualification you have, how much experience you have. There are times in our lives when we go through this syndrome. I have myself gone through at times. But luckily, I have been able to overcome it because I keep reading a lot about these things and then I keep working on myself a lot. That is something which I really appreciate about myself. All right, so coming back to imposter syndrome. Even Albert Einstein, the world renowned scientist, had this thing in mind that his work is not that enough to be appreciated world over. He also suffered from this syndrome. So you can imagine about any common man, about us, like the working professionals, day to day working professionals, we may go through this thing very easily. Now, in this video, I'm going to talk about what are the factors that lead to imposter syndrome. What are those vicious cycles in which you get entangled when you are going through this condition? And what are the strategies that you can actually implement and use to overcome this condition? Let's get rolling and talk about it in depth. Imposter syndrome is a feeling which I just defined wherein a person refuses to recognize his or her own self worth. And they refuse, or most of the times, they're hesitant to give that praise, that appreciation to themselves for whatever they do. And ironically, imposter syndrome is not restricted to that population which I mean where people are not very hardworking or maybe those who procrastinate a lot and not very much into hard work and putting in efforts. So this syndrome uh, goes also to the people those who are very hardworking, very detail oriented and highly skilled people. So, what could be certain factors which actually lead to the problem? Yeah. So, the problem is so these factors are actually when you are working in a place and there you are appreciated less and you are nagged more. You're always given a negative feedback and you are not appreciated for the efforts that you are making. That actually brings down your morale a lot. You may carry some past experiences, the baggage of your past experiences where you must have failed at times. It may be in your exams, in your studies, or maybe you haven't cracked an interview, or there are some relationship issues that you must have gone through, right? So there can be multiple factors where a person start thinking uh, about himself that I am not worth enough, right? Then there can be another reasons like very strict parenting. So parents also they keep very high hopes from their children which sometimes kids are not able to fulfill, right? So parents also need to be very complacent in this case. They should be very much understanding and they should stand by their child in whatever space the child is, right? And then there can be another aspects like we always show very tough love to ourselves. For us, our own self, we set very high standards, and when we are not able to fulfill or not able to reach those standards, then we feel as a failure and we don't internalize even the little achievements that we do or even the little efforts that we make, right? So these are few of the factors which lead to this syndrome that is known as imposter syndrome, right? Now what are, like, when you're going through an imposter syndrome, what actually happens, right? So I have put it in a diagrammatic form for all of you. Let's have a look at it. So this is a simple diagram, as you can see. Oh, I'm so sorry, it's inverted. So this is a simple diagram that you can see, right? So what happens, how it starts? So it starts with an anxiety over a tough task, then you overwork for the same. You get a positive feedback, but you're not able to internalize it, right? You're not taking that feedback as something good for yourself, right? Another cycle could be where again you are working hard. I mean, you are given a tough task, but you keep procrastinating because you're undergoing a lot of anxiety due to that given task, and you feel that you won't be able to do it, right? And then you may get a positive feedback, you may get a mixed feedback, okay? And after that, if you get a negative feedback, you actually take it as incompetence on yourself, and you start feeling that I'm not competent enough to do this thing again in future. So basically you put a tag on yourself that I'm not enough, I'm not worth, I have a lot of self doubt, I cannot make decisions, I cannot work properly, right, under the given conditions. And these things, actually these perceptions of yours about yourself, keep adding to the stress and anxiety levels. Now let's get to the positive part of it, that how we can actually overcome this. It's not a tough thing, you just need to change your mindset. Now, again, changing a mindset is a big thing, right? But with little steps taken at once can lead you to that aim of yours, where you can feel relaxed, where you can appreciate yourself, where you can show a lot of compassion to yourself, and you can actually feel that, yes, you can achieve something and you're worth it, right? So let's get rolling with the first strategy. Now, what is the first strategy that you can do? The first strategy is support whatever you do, whether you are a corporate, you're working as an educator, you are a public speaker, you are an advocate, you are a doctor, and you are going up and doing seminars or symposiums or giving talks somewhere. Whatever you are doing, make sure that your talks, your work is accompanied with some evidence. There is data, there is evidence related to what you are saying to people or what you are communicating to people. Because when we add data, both qualitative and quantitative, to our content, it gives a lot of authenticity to your content and what you are delivering to people. And also, it adds a lot of confidence for you, right, personally. So whenever you are sitting in a meeting and you have to discuss something, so you can actually back your points with some evidence. That is, you have some facts with you, you have some qualitative data, you have some incidents to share with people, you have some experiences to share with people, you have some data to share with people, right? So that gives a lot of authenticity to what you are presenting out there, right? This is the first strategy that you can implement. Second one is, let's use the imposter syndrome as a positive aspect of our feelings. How we can do that? Now, when you are suffering from this, you rarely want to depend on yourself for doing anything, right? You always look forward to some help, you always look forward, or you always give credit to people, to conditions, to the space that you are in, to the other xyz help that you are getting from here and there, right? So what you can do is, when you are going through imposter syndrome, you actually tend to work as a team, you actually tend to collaborate more, you actually tend to cooperate more, you actually tend to have a good communication with people around you. So basically what is happening is, along with how hardworking you are, you're also building very good interpersonal relations. Yeah. So let's take imposter syndrome as a motivating factor also sometimes. So every aspect has two sides. Like a coin has two sides, similarly every aspect that we go through in our life, it has two sides to it, right? So why not always focus on the positive side, right? So we can use this. So this is backed by a recent research which is conducted by Basma Tufik, right? She says that we can actually use imposter syndrome as a motivating factor as well, because besides when you're working on it so hard, on your projects, on your work, on your tasks so hard, you're also building very good interpersonal relations, because we know that collaboration and cooperation has always been proven to be a very efficient way of achieving goals and completing tasks. Strategy number 3, you can show yourself self compassion. Be very compassionate to yourself. Note down your little achievements of the day. If you're able to complete a task in the given period of time that you have set for yourself, give a pat to yourself on your back and note it down. If you are being appreciated, even if somebody has given you a compliment today, just take a note of it and feel happy about it. You just have to consciously internalize that, yes, I'm worth it. I'm good. I can do. And if I will achieve the little things step by step, that will lead to the achievement of my bigger goal, right? The fourth one is you have to consciously think about it, that whatever you're perceiving, your perceptions are not always a reality. Maybe the person in front is not taking you as such, but you are downgrading yourself a lot. So, whatever you perceive for yourself, actually, that leads you to work harder on the project. That actually polishes your expertise in that case, right? So, what will happen in the long run, you will actually become master of that thing, because due to that perception in your mind which you have already taken in, the person in front or the people, those who see you or watch you, they don't think like that for you, but you are thinking like this, that I'm not good enough, I won't be able to do. But in that scenario, when you keep thinking that I'm not good enough, I'm not able to do, you actually keep working hard on that thing to prove yourself wrong at some point, and to prove yourself right in front of other people. So you see, the things work like this. It's only that we have to make conscious effort to overcome this issue. So you are not alone if you are going through this feeling. There are many out there, and as it mentioned, that it doesn't matter at what position you are, where you're working, how you're working, you will go through at some or the other point. But if we show self love, we appreciate ourselves for little things, and we break our tasks, the long term goals, into smaller goals, and those little achievements we recognize and pat ourselves for the same, you can make a lot of difference of how you project yourself in your life and in your workspace, right? So it's most important to work on yourself first before you start working for others. And if you are ready to work on yourself, then you are unstoppable. Thank you so much. I'll see you again with another informative video, and I hope this video will help many of you out there. And if you find the video informative, please leave your reviews below in the comment section, and I'll see you again. Till then, stay happy, stay blessed, and every day say to yourself, I'm worth it. Bye bye.